Hello everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on this ramble audio. So, I recently asked all of you what you would like for me to kind of chat about in a poll. And it looked like it was pretty close between Pokemon and video games. So, I'm gonna do video games first. I'll probably do Pokemon and other things also, but video games won for now. So, let's get to it. So, as I'm sure everyone is aware, I'm currently in the process of moving. I'm still trying to pack things up and get things ready. So, as much as I would like for it to be a fast process, it's not. I have a lot of stuff that I need to put away, so it's taking a little bit of time, but I'm sure some of you can relate to that when you know, there's different ways of moving. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. This is definitely one of those prepping slower moves, I guess you could say. But anyway, so, in my process of moving, I came across a bunch of my video game collection. I'm definitely a fan of a lot of older video game series. I don't really have a lot of time with other things that I have to do to play a lot of games now, but I love video games so much. I would absolutely, one of my goals is to get myself a proper gaming PC to play a lot of the new games that I see, that I watch streamers and stuff play. One of my goals is to be able to get the equipment to be able to do that myself at some point. But that is quite the expensive investment, so it's taking me a little bit of time to save for that, but one day I'm determined to have my very own gaming PC one day. I've always had a potato computer, unfortunately, so yeah. But anyway, so let's get on to some of my favorite games that I really enjoy playing, that they will always hold a special place in my heart. As I'm sure some of you know, a big game for me is WoW, or World of Warcraft. I've been a big fan of WoW for a very long time now. I've always I don't know, I love role-playing games, or just MMOs in general, and WoW has just kind of always been my game. I always come back to it. I take breaks, but I always find myself coming back to it. If I had to pick, I definitely love the old WoW better, WoW Classic. I really loved playing hardcore, classic hardcore. I played a little bit of Season of Discovery, but like I said, my computer is a complete potato, so I can't really play a lot of retail right now, but like I said, one day I'm gonna get back into it. As for what type of WoW player I am, I have always been a PvPer. I've never really been big into raiding or all that stuff. I've always really loved PvPing. That's always been my thing. I have so much fun PvPing. I always have. There's something about it that is just so fun to me. Look, let me just say this. In my mind, this is a good night in my mind. Having a good drink, playing some really good music and just like spamming battlegrounds like that was just so fun. That is like peak happiness to me. I remember like World PvP when WoW Classic came out was, oh my god, just chef's kiss. I absolutely loved World PvP when WoW Classic first came out. It was great. In Stranglethorn especially, oh my god, that place was like a war zone, and it was beautiful. I loved it. I've told a few like WoW related stories on my Patreon. They're pretty funny, so I'm not gonna repeat them, because if I do, then this ramble is gonna be like it's gonna be too long. But just know that I have quite a few good, funny WoW PvP stories. So let's see. Let me move on to another game, because if I get too caught up in WoW, then it'll just be a WoW related video. Another thing, as I'm sure everyone knows, is I really, really love the old .hack games. I have an older video on my channel where I show off my .hack collection. I used to be, and still am, but I am obsessed with the .hack series. The anime, the games, the light novels, the manga. I love all of it. I might, what I'm about to say might upset some people, but .hack, you know, it's the better one. I'm not saying that Sword Art Online is bad, but there's clearly a better one. I'm just saying. Anyway, I was so into the stories of the .hack stuff. I used to, back when, like, they first came out and stuff, like, because you have to remember, this was, like, early 2000s and stuff like that. So, you couldn't just, like, you didn't always have internet access all the time, especially not me, because I grew up in, like, the middle of nowhere, right? So, I couldn't just, like, hop online and look up the best way to do anything in a game. It wasn't simple like that. So I had so much fun growing up reading the light novels and connecting the storyline with the video games, and then watching the anime and just like tying everything together, and it was different. It was different back then. You didn't have all these things to tell you to connect the dots for you, you know? It was like a fun little adventure that you did yourself, and it was so much fun. I will say, you know, just to be fair, looking back on a lot of the .hack games, it's hard for me to, like, recommend them to people now for two reasons. Number one, the old games are extremely expensive. They're, I guess, I don't want to, are they vintage? I don't know, but they're definitely collector type items, so it's hard to justify telling someone like, hey, play these old games, and they go online and they're like hundreds of dollars, you know? It's not viable to do stuff like that. And it is a very, very grindy game. Very grindy and very repetitive. So the storyline definitely keeps you immersed in the world, but the actual gameplay is very repetitive. It's very grindy. But, you know, as a WoW player, I kind of like that stuff, so it's just what I like. I don't know. Let's see. Another game that I grew up with and love even to this day, is the Kingdom Hearts series. I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts. I remember Kingdom Hearts was, I'm pretty sure it was one of my very first PlayStation 2 games. I have a very clear memory of my dad buying me a PlayStation 2 when I was like, I don't know, anywhere between 8 to 10 years old. I don't remember exactly, but I remember it being Christmas, and I remember waking up and having a PlayStation 2 and having the first Kingdom Hearts game. What other game did I have? Dang it, what was it? I'm pretty sure Spyro was a PlayStation 1 game. I think I already had Spyro. Man, I wish I could. Oh, I remember. He got me one of the old Lord of the Rings games for the PlayStation 2. So I had Kingdom Hearts and one of the old Lord of the Rings games. I remember playing both of them so much. Please tell me that I'm not the only person, the only kid that would start a new Kingdom Hearts game just to hear the Simple and Clean song. I remember I would start a new game just so I could watch the little video and listen to the song. Oh man, those are good memories. But I have, of course, I have Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3. All of them I love. I also have, there was another one called, like, I knew there was some DS games in between, but I was never a big, fan of, like, the in-between games. I kind of just kept to, like, the 1, 2, 3. I did have another one, I think it was, like, some weird card game or something. But for the most part, I just stuck to the 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I also found my original Resident Evil 4 copy while I was packing away some of my stuff. So that was exciting. The original, not the remake. It was the original. I absolutely loved Resident Evil 4. I don't think too many people are going to argue with me when I say that Resident Evil 4 is the best Resident Evil. I mean, everybody loves Leon. I mean, come on. He is like one of the best characters. I've told my patrons this many times, but I am absolute garbage when it comes to, like, shooting, FPS and shooting games or anything to do with having to shoot things. I'm just I'm terrible. But even having said that, I loved Resident Evil 4. Just the story, Leon, I loved it. So even though I was trash, I still really love that game. Another game that I found while I was packing away some of my things was I found my old, I'm pretty sure it's a PlayStation 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's my PlayStation 1 copy of Tekken 3. Now granted, I think the cover was busted off, so like it was just a disc in the little holder thing. I don't even think it had a cover because it's so old, but I found Tekken 3 and oh man, I love Tekken. I love the story of Tekken. Who was my favorite character? I'm trying to remember who I always played back when I was younger. Was his name Yoshimitsu? The kind of like cool samurai looking guy. He always did like these crazy moves where he'd like spin around, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure I always played him. But I love games like that. I love fighting games like that. Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I really like games like that. If I had to say a type of game that I'm quote unquote good at, other than WoW PvP. It's fighting games. It's fighting games like that. I also had the do you remember the old Naruto fighting games for the PlayStation 2 where they were just they had like the same layout as like Tekken or Mortal Kombat, where it was just like the one screen. I don't know. Anyway, I really like those types of games. I don't have my Naruto ones anymore, unfortunately, but I remember really liking those. Oh, okay. I also found my old Spyro game. So I have the Spyro remakes that they made, where they had all 3 remakes, but I still have my old original PlayStation Spyro, which I thought was really cool. But again, it was really busted up, and I mean, I was looking at the disc, and it might still be able to play. I mean, I still have a PlayStation 2 console, so maybe one day after I move, I'll pop it in just to see if it still works. That'd be really cool if it did. But I had that. I used to be obsessed with Spyro, by the way. As a kid, when I was like really little, I'm talking like really, really little, I used to be obsessed with dragons and dinosaurs. I mean, don't ask me why, I was. I used to love Jurassic Park, and I used to have like a bunch of dinosaur toys growing up. And yeah, dragons were like peak for me. So Spyro was a little obsession of mine. Let's see, what other games did I find? Oh, I found my Alice Madness Returns, which also had the original Alice game along with it. I think it was like a digital download or something, but I absolutely love American McGee, the original Alice, Madness Returns. Oh man, I am all up in that. I even bought the official art book of it. I think I even made a poll a while back asking if you guys would want to see like a flip through of the Alice art book. I might still do that one day if you're interested. I love that art book. The game, oh my god. I was one of those people with that game that I was trying to get every achievement. I was trying to get to beat it on like every level. And funny enough, I did beat it on the hard difficulty, but I couldn't do it on Nightmare. Nightmare was just way too hard. If I remember right, I think Nightmare mode was when you beat the whole game without dying once. Now, you also have to remember that all like the enemies and stuff they hit harder. You know, it's harder. So not only can you not die, but they also hit you like a freaking truck. So it was too hard for me. I never did that. Another game, what was it? Is it called Bloodstained? I want to say it was called Bloodstained or Blood Rain. I think it's Bloodstained. I found that game, and it's like it kind of makes me think of like a Castlevania-ish type game. I really, really like that game. I think it's for the Xbox One. I remember I got all the achievements in that too, but it was so much fun. I remember the main girl, like the character, she had a British accent. Oh my god, I loved it. There was also, I think the final boss was like this really I'm pretty sure the final boss was like this really hot nun lady. That was cool. I like that. that game was just really fun. I like games like that, like the kind of like Castlevania where you're going through I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say, right? I like games like that. Another game that I really enjoyed growing up, and I still would play, like I said, if I had more time, I would still play it, is RuneScape. Oh man. But before WoW took over my life, I was a RuneScape person. I played RuneScape a lot. It took a bit for me to convince my dad to get me World of Warcraft. So I had to settle for RuneScape at first. Not to say that RuneScape is worse. I'm not saying that. RuneScape is an amazing game. I love it. I absolutely love it. But it was like a gateway. It was a gateway to WoW, if you get what I mean. But I was pretty young when I played RuneScape, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of just talked to a lot of people, and I like killed a bunch of animals and things and collected a bunch of things and all that, but I don't think I was a dumb kid. I don't think I was smart enough to really grasp the stories and to read them properly to know what to really do, you know? But when I got a little older, I went back and I played again, and man, when you're older, you really appreciate those old stories, you know? Like now, when you, with a older mindset, when you understand stuff, oh man, you can really appreciate it, you know? It's great. Let's see. Okay, I also, again, I don't really play it right now because computer shit, but I loved playing Genshin Impact, like when a little bit after it came out. I didn't play it when it first came out. I wasn't on that hype train. I think I played around the time that, what was that place called? The Japanese area. I forgot what it was called, but I remember when I first started playing, Raiden, Shogun was on the banner, and I wasn't really, I wasn't sure how it worked, you know? I was totally, new when it came to gacha games and how the pulling worked and how the luck chances and all that. I was totally new to that. So I was a new player. Raiden was on the banner. So I just decided, screw it, I'll just do it. And I got her. I got Raiden. So I had Raiden as a new player, and I couldn't really utilize her in the beginning because I wasn't in the area to farm her materials or anything. So she kind of just took a she took a back seat for a little bit until I learned how to properly play the game. Funny story about that. So, you know the character Childe, or Child, as some people call him? When I saw him, oh my god, I loved how he looked. I kinda had like a little anime crush on him, you know? I liked his personality, and I liked how he looked and stuff. I'm probably gonna regret saying this, but whatever. So, when I saw his name, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. I kept looking at it, and I was like, how do you pronounce that name? I don't know how to pronounce it. So, in my head, just to make it simple, I just called him Clyde. So, to me, he will always be known as Clyde. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Like I said, I'm probably gonna regret admitting that, but you know what? I'm just being honest. It is what it is. I don't really want to call him Child. And Childe is a cool name, but you know what? When I think of Clyde, I think of Clyde Frog from South Park, and that makes me chuckle. So he's just gonna be known as Clyde. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little video game ramble, and let me know if you like stuff like this. Since I am kind of busy packing away a bunch of my shit, moving, doing stuff like this is kind of chill for me too. It's relaxing, just to kind of like take my mind away from stuff like that. So if you like stuff like this, let me know, and I will kind of throw them in between role plays every now and then if you like it. Anyway, have a nice, I hope you have a nice day, afternoon, night, whenever you're listening, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.